Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Awkward Author vlog and podcast. My name is Alyssa Grasso, and this is a weekly vlog slash podcast that I do talking about my awkward author life. So kind of like a video diary, audio diary, for those of you that are interested in what I've been up to and what life is like for an author in these modern times of ours. And right now, what life is like is kind of chaotic. As I mentioned last week, I'm going away just for a couple of days, really, get together with family and have a little whirlwind birthday extravaganza for my mom, who's turning 70. So happy birthday, Mom. And when you're watching this, I'll actually be leaving tomorrow. So I'm filming this today, which is, I have to upload and all that stuff. So I've been getting ready for that. I had a gift I had to finish making, and I had gifts to wrap and packing to do and all that good stuff. So it's been a bit busy here. I guess not too bad, but always for me, like when I have to go away, there's all this stuff I feel like I have to do beforehand, even though it's not like a big trip or anything like that. And but I was talking to my boyfriend over the weekend. I was like saying on Sunday, oh, I gotta pack tomorrow, and he's like, tomorrow, because I'm not leaving till Wednesday, and I'm not even leaving like first thing Wednesday or anything like that. But yeah, we approach many things differently, and I'm the kind of person that's like, I like to be on time for things. Like I get nervous if I'm late. I don't know. It's just like me. And he might get nervous if he's late too, but he's always late for things. He's always like running late. So we kind of have to try to balance each other out. But yeah, he was saying if it was him, he'd be packing, Wednesday morning and, last minute and would end up being late. So just interesting the way people approach things. It may have something to do with how I was raised, or maybe something in my DNA. Only say that because I did get a text message from my sister yesterday where she was trying to, figure out what she should wear as far as, the weather and what would be comfortable, and she was packing too. So, so that's, that's Grasso girls, that's how we are. But yeah, so have I gotten a lot of writing done? Not really. A little. I feel like I keep saying this, but I'm really this close to being done with whatever draft I'm calling this of the book I'm working on. It's called, at least at the moment, Girl Most Likely to Succeed, and it's a mystery thriller, psychological thriller, whatever you want to call it. I thought I was further along, I think maybe last week when I talked to you, or was that the week before? I don't even know. I've lost track. And I ended up, having some thoughts about it, and as far as the ending, and wanted to change some things. So that's really what I've been working on this week, was going back and doing that. And so it's I've written the next chapter, but I'm going to do some rewriting on that. And I'm done, I think, with the chapter I was working on, which is the next to last chapter. Although I did notice today when I was working on something that I actually have a chapter that I skipped. It's kind of a crucial chapter because it sets up some things that happen later, and I never actually wrote that chapter. It's blank. I use Scrivener, so for those of you that use Scrivener, everything's set up in these folders, which makes it really easy for me because I do tend to jump around when I'm working on stuff, and it's just so much easier to keep track of what's going on, and especially something like a mystery where you got a lot of plot elements you got to keep track of and stuff. But anyway, so I have, besides having to finish, I think I'm finished with the chapter I'm working on, or I might have a little bit more of it, and having to finish rewrite the next chapter, I also have a chapter I have to go back and actually write. I don't think it's a very long chapter, and I pretty much know what happens because it, like I said, sets up some stuff that happens later. But anyway, I do have to write that. So by the time, I don't know. Hopefully by the time I talk to you next week, I'll actually be done with this draft of it. It's really a second draft, I guess. it'll need some work, some cleaning up and whatnot, but it's pretty far along. I feel like it's pretty, a lot of the kinks are worked out of it so far or already, because it is like a rewrite. So anyway, second draft, we'll call it. I don't know. First draft. I don't know what you want to call it. But yeah, so hopefully by next week, when I catch up with you, that will be done. I'm hoping to actually get some writing done while I'm away for a couple of days. Obviously, I'm going to be spending a lot of time with my family and friends and, hanging out and stuff. But I know from experience, everyone else tends to go to bed pretty early. And so, at night, I'll just be in my room, my hotel room, and I can get some work done, which I like to work in a hotel room. I don't know, something about like being away from your regular space, like you can get more stuff done. There's no distractions really. There's nothing else to do, so you might as well work on something, or I guess you could watch a movie or read a book or something too. But I do like to write. I used to have a sales job where I traveled somewhat, and so if I had to stay overnight somewhere, it was a great time to get writing done. I've done this with a friend of mine where we had our own writing retreat, where it was just like the two of us holed up in a hotel room for a couple of days and just worked on stuff. And we didn't even go that far. Like we went somewhere in New Jersey that was like maybe halfway between for both of us, and just hung out there for a couple of days. Didn't do anything but like write and eat, and we got a lot of work done. I'm trying to think. That wasn't last year, it was the year before, and I think I was working on Girl Most Likely to Succeed, the first draft, which has now been completely rewritten. I think that's what I was working on those couple of days when we were there. And it's just it's something about being away from your regular, from home and your regular routine, that helps you to get some work done and get some stuff drafted and written and whatnot. So hopefully I'll get some writing done over the next few days, and be done with this book. Not be done with the book, but be done with this draft of the book, which will be cool. And what else has been going on in my writing life? Still working on figuring out marketing of Unnamed Roads, still playing around with different things, playing around with the pricing of my other books, and I haven't done a whole lot, but thinking about things and trying to work out what might work to help move more copies of my book. And I think last week when I talked to you, I was considering doing an audiobook, and I've decided to put that on the back burner for now. Just a lot of reasons. I mean, there's the cost of it, which, I don't have a problem with like investing in something if I feel like it's going to be worthwhile. But just from what I was seeing, it didn't seem like a good investment at this time. I mean, the biggest problem I find with it, as the more I looked into it, is, if you're familiar with books and audiobooks especially, the big player in town is Audible, and it's like, it's not that they have a monopoly on the audiobook market, but they almost do, because it is like far and away the service that most people use to download their audios. I mean, more so even than like how Amazon is, when it comes to books, buying books, like Amazon is the number one place. Like, they sell the most books, but like Audible, even more so, dominates the audiobook market. And here's my problem with Audible. I mean, because they dominate, I guess they can get away with doing these things, and so the royalties that they're paying you, like, it's not a good rate. Now there's two different plans, whether you're exclusive or not exclusive, and it's like, if you're not exclusive, I think it's like 25% of the royalties that you get, and if you are exclusive, is it 35%, I think, which, okay, if you're in traditional publishing, obviously you get a much smaller percentage of the royalties. And I understand that, because when you're in traditional publishing, like, the publisher is putting up money to do things. Like, they have, editors that they're paying for. They have, art department that's designing the book. They have, marketing and sales personnel. So, it's a fair arrangement in most cases. Like, you get, it's not like you're just giving them money. They're doing stuff for the money, and so they're putting up money to publish this book, and so that's why they take, a bigger chunk of the royalties. Now, use your head if you're going into traditional publishing, as far as, if this publisher can do for you enough that it's worth giving up that share of the royalties. And it really, you can't know in advance, but use your head and do your homework. But anyway, getting off topic, with Audible, they're taking a huge chunk of the royalties, but it's like you're the one putting up the money to, create the audiobook, to pay the actors or to narrate the book, right? And it's like, so I'm putting up all this money and you're taking this like big, huge chunk of the royalties, and what are you giving me for that? You're providing the bandwidth, to host it, which I realize an audio file is a lot bigger than like a, digital ebook file, but still, I don't know if that could justify the huge chunk of the royalties that they're taking. And and it's just like, will you make your money back, especially when you're looking at something like that? Now I realize like royalties on ebooks or audiobooks, are priced a lot higher than your traditional ebook, but still, it's still like a weird arrangement. And Audible is not that transparent. I feel like there's, you don't control the pricing of your book. I mean, there's a lot of like weird things with it that just didn't sit well with me, I guess. And I don't think I would be exclusive with Audible, which, I can see the attraction in that, especially when you're looking at that royalty difference. But you have to be locked in for 7 years, I think it is, with them, which is crazy too. And it's like, I just don't, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with it, and that was kind of my take on it. My boyfriend and I did a lot of research on this. Like, we really looked into it, and just can't justify it right now. I think the market is there. There are some competitors starting to pop up here and there that I think it's going to change. Like, the audiobook market is going to change a little bit over the next few years or so, where Audible's going to it's going to force Audible to be more competitive. But right now, they have such a stranglehold on the audiobook market that they can get away with doing this. Again, I think going forward, we might see some different things going on. I mean, like I said, I was looking at using Findaway Voices through Draft to Digital to distribute the audiobook, and they would distribute to Audible as well as other places. But so that's a start. It's a start that there's even like other options out there, because they're really there have been smaller different outfits, but there really wasn't a good way other than Audible for authors to distribute books for a while. So there are some things happening, and I think going forward we'll probably see some changes to that market. But right now there are no changes, and right now I just can't justify the cost of creating the audiobook and to try to distribute it when Audible's going to just take so much money and not really give me anything in exchange. And so I just don't know. When I run the numbers and look at how many audiobooks are sold annually and stuff like that, it's like, I don't know that I'm going to make back my money, and I don't like to throw away money. I like it to be an investment and, to get a return on that investment. So that's just the way I'm looking at it, and maybe I'm making a mistake, but I can always, down the line, if I wanted to, change my mind about it and put the audiobook out there. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. And I guess that's really all that's been going on this week as far as writing and books and whatnot. And like I said, I have been a little bit busier than normal. I don't know what it's going to be like when I catch up with you next week, because it's going to feel like I just talked to you, because I know it's going to go really fast. As far as being away for a few days and then having to come home and like catch up on all the stuff that I missed while I was away, and it'll be, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I'll have anything to report back to you, but hopefully I can share with you that I am done with this first draft, whatever you want to call it, of The Girl Most Likely to Succeed, because that would make me very, very happy. And yeah. So that's what's been going on in my awkward author life. Sorry, I'm not more exciting this week, but hey, that is what is going on, and yeah. Maybe I'll be sharing some pictures of the family get-together when I do catch up with you next week. But right now, that's where we're at. And thank you for watching, listening, etc. My name is Alyssa Grasso. You can find me online at alyssagrasso.com. That's ALISSAGROSSO.com. Check out my books, find out more about me, subscribe to my newsletter, whatever. And I'll catch up with you guys again in another week. So have fun, keep writing, keep it awkward, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.